Hey, have you ever wanted a scientific way to rate a current or former boss and determine whether they were either a great boss, good boss, partial boss hole, or complete boss hole? Well, I've developed this tool for you, and this is not just some junk tool that I threw together in 5 minutes. This is based on a ton of research and 35 years experience working with thousands of employees and hundreds of bosses. We developed a series of 10 dimensions upon which behavior can be analyzed. And we ask you a series of questions, and you have to think about the behavior your boss has exhibited and select the answer that most closely represents how that boss has behaved. And when you go through, you'll see exactly what I mean. So let me dive right in and show you what this is all about. Shouldn't take you more than a couple of minutes to do, but here we go. You start out by reading the dimension. Describe your boss's ability to keep your team focused on doing the work that needs to be done. My boss either keeps us laser focused on the right stuff, has no idea what the right stuff to work on is, has us work on stupid stuff frequently, always has us work on things that make little sense to completing our mission, or keeps us moving in the right direction but occasionally gets off track. So think about this particular boss and choose the answer that most closely fits their typical behavior. Now, there may not be something that fits identically, but just pick the one that most closely identifies their behavior. So I don't really have a boss in mind, so what I'm going to do is just go through and pick an answer. Now, this is designed so that the questions come up randomly and the answers come up randomly, so you cannot assume that the top answer is good and the bottom answer is bad, and that would even be consistent from question to question. So slow down, read the question, read the answers, and pick the one that most closely describes your boss. So I'm going to just kind of breeze through here, and you can see approach to management. If I'm going into a battle with my boss, how would people behave? How has the boss influenced your career? The personal reaction to your boss's leadership style. Describe your boss's coaching style. Describe your boss's ability to protect your team's ability to work effectively. Describe how your boss gives performance feedback, and describe the work-life balance that your boss expects. So I just picked ones. You need to actually read the questions and answers and pick the one that most closely identifies your boss's most frequent behavior. Then you hit submit. And in this case, based on the answers I chose, this guy would be a complete boss hole, the worst of the worst. And it gives you some suggestions of what you can do about that. So the beauty of this is you can do this as often as you want, as many times as you want. You can share this with your friends, put together groups on your Facebook page and say, hey, everybody, let's rate this particular person, rate politicians, rate people on television shows, rate Donald Trump, whatever you want to do. Just start up some rate the boss things, use the tool, and have some fun with determining where people fall on the scale of the boss hole rating scale. Now, the other thing that's available, and this is a little, you have to have some self-confidence to do this one, but there's the second tool, which is to rate yourself. And if you're in any kind of beginning managerial position, supervisory role, shift leader, you might want to do this one as well. And then you have to be honest with yourself. So they're the same dimensions that we had in the other one, but you have to describe how you typically behave. So slow down and take this one. Give it some real thought and be honest with yourself. Which behaviors do you most frequently exhibit while you're telling others what to do? And I will tell you that when you start out, most people do quite a few boss hole things, and you have to learn not to do them. So be honest with yourself. You can use this to gauge your progress as you get better at being a manager. So again, you use the same dimensions, and based on the answers that I picked randomly, you'll actually have to take the, read it and do the correct ones. You can see that I acted like a boss hole apparently when I was managing this week. So these are the very cool tools. They're free to use. I have you give me your email address here simply because I want to keep the spam bots out, and they come in and just burn up my usage on this device because I have to pay to have these things work. So anyway, totally free. Use it as often as you like. Share it with your friends. Have boss hole rating nights. When you're mad at the boss, rate it. Whatever you want to do. If you want to, at the end, send your boss the results and say, 45 of us has found out, have determined that you are a great boss or not. Have fun with it. So just sign up on this sheet. You don't get any spam or anything from me. It's just so that I know who's using the device and it's not being spam bots running off 1,000 clicks on it. So have fun, enjoy it, free to use, come back as often as you like.